Hello and welcome to Spiral Review Week 2. Today, since we're continuing on our study of 5th grade Spiral Review, we're actually going to have just one longer math video that then you can watch to help you get ready for all of your assignments. Now, you're going to notice that on your Spiral Review, it's divided up into 3 columns. The first column is called Operations Review, and that's what we're going to talk about now. Okay? Now, when we're looking at a big addition problem, like maybe 5,250, and we're going to add that to 1,963. Remember, the way I want you to think about it is to divide each of these up into separate columns. That helps me from accidentally flip-flopping my numbers. Let's walk through. It's like I have 4 addition problems right next to each other now. 0 plus 3 is 3. 5 plus 6 is 11, but only one number fits in this slot. I have to carry the other one. Now I do 1 plus 2 plus 9. I get 13. Again, I have to carry. 1 plus 5 plus 1 gets me 7. So for my answer, 7,313. All right, now let's keep the same problem set up, but let's change the operation. Let's do subtraction. Again, I'm making sure I have my columns. Now when I do 0 subtract 3, well, now I can't do that. I need to borrow. And when I borrow, I regroup. I borrow from the column to the left of it. 5 becomes a 4. 0 becomes a 10, because I'm borrowing 1 from the tens place. Now 10 subtract 3 gets me 7. 4 subtract 6, I can't do that, so I have to borrow and regroup again. Borrow from the column directly to the left. 2 becomes a 1. 4 becomes a 14. 14 subtract 6 gets you 8. 1 subtract 9, again, you can't do that, so you borrow. Regroup, 5 becomes a 4, 1 becomes 11. 11 subtract 9 gets you 2. 4 subtract 1 gets you 3. So when you subtract, you get an answer of 3,287. Okay? It looks similar, but they have a different purpose. When I add, I'm carrying the 1 over. When I'm subtracting, I have to regroup that 1 backwards to the right. All right, now we're going to look at one more operation review, because remember, there are 4 operations in the world. So let's say I have a number, 525 multiplied by 3. Okay? Let's go through our 2-step multiplication. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. Remember, I can't write the 1 down here. It's got to go on top of the 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now I add this 1. So kind of similar when I add, then I need to carry a 1 over. Now I don't multiply it by 1, I add the 1. So 6 plus 1 gives me 7. 3 times 5, again, is 15. And you don't have to carry the 1. You could if you want to, but it's just going to fall down. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So for my answer, I got 1,575. Okay? Now let's look at a division problem. Division bar. 1,575 divided by 3. Now I can tell you the answer without even doing any long division. The answer is 525. Well, how did I get that? Let's look at our multiplication problem. Is 1,575 in this problem? There it is. Is it in this problem? There it is. Is 3 in this problem? There it is. Is 3 in this problem? There it is. Very good. So what other number is in this problem? 525, which means 525 is going to end up here. Multiplication is the opposite of division. Multiplication is the opposite of division. Now let's prove it. Let's write 525 up here. And now let's prove it. When I'm doing two-step division, I'm going to cover. What's 1 divided by 3? If I have $1 divided among 3 people, do I have enough money? No, it's 0. 15 divided by 3. If I have $15 divided among 3 people, each person gets 5. Remember our little chant from before? Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. 5 times 3 is 15. Divide, multiply, subtract. 15 subtract 15 is 0. Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. What do I bring down? The 7. 7 divided by 3. Again, if you have $7, handing it out to 3 people, each person gets 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Divide, multiply, subtract. 6 subtract 7 is 1. Bring down. What do I bring down? My last number, 5. 15 into 3. We've already done this one. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Divide, multiply, subtract. 15 take away 15 is nothing. So I just proved that my answer is 525. That's how you can double check your division, because what's 3 times 525? 3 times 525 is 1575. What's 1575 divided by 3? 525. You can see how these two operations relate to one another. They're the exact opposite of one another. Now, let's go ahead and look at the next column in your math. Okay? The second column has a mixed review. Okay? One of them has to do with place value, another one geometry, and word problems. If I have 58,637, and I want you to round to the nearest 10. Remember, this is my ones place. Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So which one's in my tens place? 10. When I round, I need to look at the number directly to the right. It's 7. Then we have the rule of the magic 5. The rule of the magic 5 tells me that if a number is bigger than 5, I round up. If it's smaller than 5, I round down. So is 7 bigger than 5 or smaller? Of course it's bigger. So I'm going to round this up. It becomes 58,640. Okay? Well, what if I want you to round it to the thousands place? Which one's in the thousands place? 1, tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay, that's in the thousands place. Again, look to the number directly to the right, 6. Is that bigger than 5 or smaller than 5? It's bigger than 5, so I round up to 59,000. Okay, So when I'm rounding, I leave the numbers to the left the same. I might change the number if I'm rounding up, or I might leave it the same if I'm rounding down. Okay? All right, now let's review a little bit of geometry. When I'm reviewing a little bit of geometry, I'm talking a lot about angles. Okay, so I want you to try to draw out these 3 angles. There's an angle. There's an angle. And there's an angle. All right. These 3 angles have 3 different names. Let's start with this one. This one is called a right angle. Why is it called a right angle? Well, because it kind of looks like a square, right? Let's see if our square eraser fits in there. Does it fit? Yep, it fits perfectly. That means it's right, because it fits. Like when a builder is building a house, they need to make sure that the corners are square. If so, it's right. How about this one? Is this one smaller than a square or bigger? It's smaller. Since it's smaller, it's acute. Acute. Not acute, but acute. That means it's smaller than right. How about this one? Is it bigger than the square? It is. If it's bigger, it is obtuse. Obtuse. If it's bigger, it's obtuse. All right. 3 angles. Right, acute, obtuse. All right. Let's take a look at a review word problem now. Go ahead and read this problem with me. The 5th grade math book has 180 pages of problems to solve. If the students complete 3 pages each school day, how many school days will it take to finish the book? The first step in figuring out any word problem is identify my numbers. What numbers do you see? Very good, 180 and 3. Now I got to ask myself, what operation makes the most sense? Well, if the book is 180 pages total, and we're dividing it up into 3 pages a day, hey, what operation did I just say? Division. All right, let's work through some division. Now when I do division, I could do it like this, but I more often than not like to write it like this. 180 goes in the box because it's a bigger number. 3 goes outside of the box because it's a smaller number. 180 divided by 3. Again, let's cover up the other numbers. 1 divided by 3 is 0. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 take away 18, 0. Bring down that 0. 0 divided by 3, 0. I got 0, 6, 0. I don't need the first 0, that's just a placeholder. I do need this one though because it's in between the numeral and the decimal point. So 180 divided by 3 is 60. However, this is a word problem, so I'm not done yet. I need to look back at the word problem and ask myself, what's my label? Pages? No, how many school days will it take to finish the book? School days. Oh, so 60 represents days. I get 60 days as an answer. All right, we're ready to move on to our 3rd column now. The 3rd column is all about fractions and measurements. So I'm going to give you a fraction, and I want you to tell me if it's more than half or less than half. Here's half. Okay. 5, 6. More than half or less than half? If you ate 1 out of 2 slices of pizza, or you ate 5 out of 6 slices, 5/6 is more. How about this one? 3/8. This one's a little harder. I know that 1 is exactly half of 2. Is 3 exactly half of 8? No, 4 is. So even though 3 is bigger than 1 and 8 is bigger than 2, 3/8 is actually smaller because 4/8 equals 1/2. Same up here. 1/2 is equal to 3/6. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 1/2 is equal to 4/8. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And that's how fractions work together. And now let's go on to a review of measurements. When I'm reviewing measurements, I might have a mix of measurements. And I might have something that says 3 yards, 12 feet, and 36 inches. Now I need to figure out which one's the biggest and which one's the smallest. In order to convert these, I need to convert them all to a common measurement. Yards are bigger than feet, feet are bigger than inches. So let's convert them all into inches. Let's make a little chart. "36 inches, I know, is still going to be 36 inches, and I can represent inches with IN. I don't need to do anything there. 12 feet, though. Well, to do that, how many inches are in a foot? Very good, 12. So I take 12 times 12. What's 12 times 12? 144. I get 144 inches. Finally, yards. How many yards are in a foot? Well, 3 feet are in a yard. How many inches are in a yard? Well, what's 3 times 12? 3 times 12 is 36. So if there's 36 inches in a yard, I need to do my 3 yards times 36. And what do you get when you take 3 times 36? Well, think of it this way, guys. 3 times 3 is 9, but it's in the tens place, so we'll put 90. 3 times 6 is 18. And what's 90 plus 18? 108. Now that I've converted them all into inches, which one's bigger? 144 inches is biggest, which is 12 feet. The next biggest, 108 inches, which is 3 yards. The smallest, 36 inches, which is 36 inches. All right, thanks for sticking around for this long math video. Remember, your math review is divided up into these 3 columns. Do write your answer to the side, and you can show your work on the problem or on those lined pieces of paper I put you. And each sheet is set up in a similar way.